friends, and welcome to the Crypto Stacker channel. My name is Dean. If you're watching my videos for the first time, please know I only make them for entertainment, education, and for community building in the crypto space. So please do your own research before investing. Hey, before I start my video today, I wanted to address a couple of things that came up in the comments last video. First and foremost, this little spot right here on my face. Somebody noticed this spot and was concerned and told me to consult a doctor. This spot is the result of consulting a doctor. For 10 years, I worked as a pharmaceutical rep, drove all over the place, and this side of my face was exposed to the sun. So I have more sunspots and things going on, but there was a little rough patch there that wasn't overly concerning, but they went ahead and did a little freeze procedure. And so I get a couple weeks of looking like I've been in a bar fight. So no worries there. If you're curious about the glow over my other shoulder, I didn't get a garden this year, so I bought a indoor mushroom growing kit. They are oyster mushrooms, nothing crazy, but they are actually pretty fun to watch and pretty crazy. There's the second flush, they call it, going on, or the second time that this particular grow kit is yielding the fruit or the oyster mushroom. So pretty awesome stuff. All right, let's jump into cryptocurrency here, you guys. Brutal markets all around, not just in crypto, but in the stock market in the US as well. People are definitely feeling the pinch. We're still dealing with inflation. We are dealing with higher interest rates, which are intended to curb inflation and slow down spending, but everything is more expensive. I made a trip to Costco today. My wife and I were actually talking about it afterwards, how some of the products that we normally buy are up as much as 20 or 30% in the last year, which, you know, it hurts when your money is being devalued by the fact that there are market pressures involved, and then it's being devalued by inflation, right? So we're kind of taking a double hit on our money right now, and like all things, hopefully this too shall pass. So let's jump in and talk about Terareum. Now, Terareum currently sitting at 9089. I have to get used to saying 90 because it's always been 80. I thought we were at 801. I felt like we were hopefully at a floor. This is showing that there's been a little more room to travel. But you see today around noon, Terareum at its lowest price really since launch, 9088. There has been a little bit of recovery since noon. And, you know, it's tough, you guys. There's no real positive way to spin what's going on with the price of Terareum. I don't like it as much as anybody doesn't like it. I'm positive the development team is not enjoying it either. So we're all kind of holding our breath, waiting on a few things to turn. One, the market in general, and two, for Terareum to deliver its next major utility, which should be the exchange in November. But in the last 7 days, down 15%. In the last 30 days, down 50%. So, and with this type of a market cap, you know, with the turn in the market or good news for Terareum, this could be erased quite easily because the overall market cap is low enough that to double it with some investment is not a massive task at this point. I'll show you that on the spreadsheet. But before I do want to just give you some food for thought. First of all, the Ethereum merge is done. This is the change from proof of work to proof of stake. I will leave a link to this particular article by CoinDesk. It gives a good overview of that if you're unfamiliar with what's going on, but they kind of do an interesting analogy here where they talk about this thing that they just pulled off. Essentially, the metaphor they're using is it's like the idea of switching out a car engine while the engine is running. So really seems like it went through quite seamlessly, but initially at least, it hasn't done anything for the price of Ethereum. I don't know if people were expecting much of a spike there, but, you know, overall in the last 7 days, down 16% in spite of that. I will just show you here. We look at the market cap for cryptocurrency in general. It's currently sitting at about $1 trillion. And if we were to go back into last fall, this is November the 8th, where it really peaked out, the total market was actually over $3 trillion. So we're actually down 66% from cryptocurrency collectively's all-time high. So, it's one of those things that we have to do some soul searching as investors. It's why some of the best advice in investing in general is do not invest money, especially in cryptocurrency, that you're not willing to lose, because it is a relatively new asset class. It definitely is a highly volatile marketplace. And no matter what you've been in, if you're buying here in the last year, you're pretty much going to be down. Okay. Now, there are some projects certainly that people have been able to get into, take some profits, but there are very, very few projects that are really crushing it right now in the crypto space. Let's jump over, take a quick look at the spreadsheet. There is one tiny bit of positive news. And so today, September the 16th, the total holder count, 10,307. So in the last 3 days, we finally added new holders. Okay, look at this run, you guys. It's been over a month of me constantly showing you little dips in the holder count. And in this last 3-day run, we've added a few holders. Now that's in a declining market. I am really thinking right now about adding to my position. I don't know where it's going to go, but I have this kind of sense that, for me, this is the lowest point since launch that I will have purchased anything. And you guys know, because I show everybody, but my cost basis on this, I've bought this all over the place, anywhere from 804 down to the 801 range. But, my overall cost basis is 80166. That is half or double, the current price is half what my cost basis is. So as a dollar cost averaging person, I could drive my cost basis down. Now, I've said it before, but I have 10 trillion tokens, and that was my goal for Terareum. But at these prices, I am tempted to add to the position, something I'm evaluating and trying to keep in line with the rest of my personal money management with my budget and my investment goals. So if I buy some more, I'll make sure to let you know. All right, back over to the spreadsheet. You can see volumes have been down. Burn over the last 3 days is, not a bunch. We've got 1.6 trillion. So we're trending, 500 billion and change daily in the last 3 days, which is lower than normal. So hopefully we'll see this trend continue here with adding new holders, and we'll start to see this market cap turn around and, see our prices going back up. All right, out in the Twitter sphere, there were some interesting things. There's something that Milton put out that I had missed the other day when I made my video, and Dr. Praveen, very active, and it's the way he's talking about some of these posts that I'm actually excited about. It's a trend that I hope that we see continuing. So there is a interview that's done with Dr. Praveen and a group called DSCVR. There is a YouTube video, currently has about 200 views on it, but I think it's, it's a little showcase of Terareum. From what I can see, that YouTube channel at this point doesn't have a lot of power. So it is one that wouldn't hurt for us to give it a retweet, like the post, so that we can boost it in Twitter's algorithm and show people, what our senior advisor thinks about the project. He makes a comment in here that the project has been around for about 3 months. Right now, we're closer to 7 months on this project. So I don't know if this was a little bit older interview or if he just misspoke on that. But it does seem like it's a little bit dated because he's talking about the launch of Terapool still coming. He does talk about NFT platform and, of course, about the exchange coming up. But down a little deeper here are the things that I'm a little more, I found more interesting, I'm going to say. Okay. So there is some stuff on here about crypto legislation, and he gives some hints that, Terrarium is trying to play by the books, really in advance of the books existing. They're trying to make sure that all the business is done above board, that everything's registered, and that we are prepared to comply with any legislation that should come forward. And I do think that that's important, because cryptocurrencies that don't have the team in place, that don't have the capital or the resources available to make the adjustments that are necessary to comply with the law, will be wiped out of the crypto space, if they're not getting wiped out by this crypto winter in general. So here are the ones that I start looking at. So the first one he says here, and this is the 15th, so yesterday, but up to date, clear and concise, congratulations, official Terra press release team. Okay. Down below that, official Terra graphic design team. And this is just a little video that shows all of Terrarium's centralized exchange listings, as well as the decentralized exchange listing, because it does show Uniswap on there. But what excites me about this, in this last Twitter space with Milton, one of the things that came out of that from the community was essentially asking Milton to try to get press releases coming from official sources, so that we as a community have a reliable source we can go to, and that everything doesn't have to come directly from Milton. Though I personally, I've always liked to see, you just feel like it's coming from Milton, it's coming from the top, so that that's credible information. But we know that Terareum has a bricks and mortar office in India, that they have employees under hire. RD Price has been there. People continue to question this, but he's been there. He's seen the people. I trust RD. I've talked to him about it at length. He even shared some videos with me of when he was in India. We know for absolute fact that RD gave a presentation in Singapore, so he was there for the conference as well. But if we're using the staffing now to create official press releases, to create official graphic design and information, then I think we can expect a ramp up in the quantity and quality of what is coming out to support Terareum, and we need it. Every time I create a video, people talk about marketing, that we need to do more with marketing, that we need to do something more to get the project out there. And to me, these are some possible looks at that. So good stuff. And Dr. Praveen, very, very engaged. Lots of posts and interview. It's good to see. I love to see the team out there working. Now, here's the one that I missed on September 12th when I made my last video. And it's just that Milton saying the Terareum team has started the process of getting licensed to do business in Singapore. And Singapore, as many of you would know, is a place that is already pretty crypto friendly, crypto forward. They're the ones that hosted the expo that the whole team went to when Terareum won an award for best technology. So good stuff. It's good to see that they're continuing to expand. And it is my belief that every time they knock down one of these licenses, essentially it's setting up the dominoes to fall, to be licensed as universal as you could be. Everything's easier once you've moved through a process. I'm doing a lot of development right now in my work, real estate development, and we're almost not necessarily completing, but we've completed all of the 2 years of planning, the architecture, the engineering, meeting with builders to have the project going. It's completely framed up. They're starting to do some of the interior finish and the exterior finishes, the landscaping's going in, and a second building that we're working on is about to start. Well, the work we have to do to get the second building done compared to the first building is not even on the same planet. We already have relationships established. We've got our lending in place. We've done design work as we're doing design work on the other one. We had wanted to make a kind of a cohesive look to the whole development. So a lot of the exterior finishes are now a foregone conclusion. We don't have to hash it all out. pick companies, pick materials, pick colors. It's done. Well, with Terareum and these licensings, every time they go through this process, they essentially are creating a portfolio or a packet that should need very little tweaking to move on to the next licensure. So get it done, Milton and team. Keep working hard. I know it's brutal right now for terrarium investors. It's brutal for me. I'm not going to try to make it anything that it isn't. I'm investing in crypto because I'm hoping that it will really boost my financial future and push me closer to an earlier retirement to do the things that I want to do and enjoy and be able to help my family in the way that I want to do that. And I know you guys are doing it for similar reasons. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed that this project can go the distance, that the team can deliver on future commitments. Really, I mean, after the exchange, what's left is terapay and the blockchain. So let's see this train keep rolling down the tracks. Let's build some momentum as a community. You guys do what you can to support the project. That means, to me, keeping abreast of what's going on with the development team and, getting the word out there. I don't have mine tweeted, so I almost got to be number 100 there. I do like numbers for some reason. My brain does. And being 99 instead of 100, that actually hurts a little bit. So one of you guys can jump on, get number 100, and you'll sleep a little better than I do. All right. The last thing I want to do is just give you a quick look at my reflections, and then I'll sign out. Today, 9/16, my bag's sitting at 10 trillion, 114 million, 10 trillion, 114 billion, 189 million. I think people sometimes question whether I'm selling my bag. So here is my terrarium holding. I don't know exactly where to hold it in the camera, but it's still there. I've got my terrarium. It would be a horrible time to sell. It's at the lowest price it's been. So for me, it's a horrible time to sell. You have to make that decision for yourself. I'm not saying that it can't go lower. But to me, I'm still feeling like we've got to be near a floor. And like I said at the beginning of the video, I am considering adding a little bit to my position because it'll help me dollar cost average my total cost down. All right, friends. I guess I should finish out. That gives me 142 million new coins in the last 3 days. My total reflection since February 21st when the project launched, 38 billion. 755 million at current price, worth about $35. So, friends, I hope you're having an amazing day. I hope you're doing something fun this weekend. Do something with your family. Try not to focus on the gloom and doom. The world is a tough place right now, but there's still a lot of reasons to be thankful. There's a lot of reasons to be happy. And those are the things I'm choosing to try to focus on right now, trying to be productive. So, folks, have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for stopping in, and check back with me soon. We'll watch our crypto stacks grow together.